Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to skip the usual agenda because we need to jump right into something absolutely mind-blowing. We're talking about one of the most recognizable sounds in human history, but also one of the most deeply layered. Yep, we're diving straight into the sound of Om and how ancient wisdom literally uses it as a map for human consciousness. Let's just get right into it. Okay, let's dive into this by anchoring our explainer in some serious ancient authority. The Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 10, verse 25, Lord Krishna lays down this massive statement. He says, "Among words, I am the one syllable, Om." Just think about the weight of that for a second. Out of all the languages, all the words, and all the vibrations that exist in the universe, the ultimate reality completely identifies itself with this single, isolated syllable. It really sets the stage, right? Om isn't just some word you say at the end of a class. It is the ultimate essence. And you've probably heard Om used all over the place, but let's look at how it actually functions structurally. Take three of the most significant, powerful mantras in ancient traditions. You've got Om Namah Shivaya, you've got the Gayatri mantra, Om Bhuva Swaha, and the Mahamrityunjaya mantra, Om Triambakam Yojamahe. What is the absolute common denominator here? Obviously, they all kick off with Om. As our source explains, Om acts as this global, universal sound that attaches itself to these chants. But it doesn't just sit there like a grammatical prefix. It has a real job. It injects every single one of these mantras with profound, vibrant, new energy. It's basically the cosmic engine powering the whole chant. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this alternate name for Om. It's called pranav. Let's break down that definition exactly how the text describes it. Pranav comes from pra plus nav, which together translates to that which is always new or ever fresh. And honestly, that completely shifts how we view this sound, doesn't it? When you chant Om or attach it to a mantra, it isn't some stagnant, repetitive thing. The text specifically points out that Om brings a constant freshness, a literal newness to the chant. It is a universal sound that is continuously renewing the energy of the practitioner. Moving into Section 1, the anatomy of the syllable, detailed in the Mandukya Upanishad. This is where we shift to breaking Om down into its highly granular phonetic components. So the crucial point is how the Mandukya Upanishad brilliantly dissects the actual phonetic structure of Om and maps it directly onto our human states of consciousness. See, Om is actually made up of distinct parts. First, the Ah sound. That represents our waking state, the Jagrat state, where we're actively engaging with the physical world. Then there's the U sound, which corresponds to the dreaming state, the whole realm of our subconscious mind. And finally, the M sound, representing deep, dreamless sleep. So this ancient text isn't just giving us alphabet lessons, it's giving us a literal map of how we experience reality every single day. But here's the kicker. The map does not end with deep sleep. Beyond A, U, and M is Nishabd, which translates to silence. This silence is defined as turiya, the ultimate fourth state of consciousness. Because think about it, when that M sound physically fades from your lips, you don't just stop chanting, you enter the unspoken silence that inherently follows the syllable. I want you to really conceptualize that pause. You move past the waking world, past the dream world, past the darkness of deep sleep, and you arrive at turiya, an absolute, tranquil fourth state of awareness. All right, shifting gears a bit to Section 2, the bow and arrow. From the Kathopanishad, let's zoom out to see how we actively use this sound in practice to reach a specific spiritual target. And this brilliantly illustrates a highly practical metaphor given directly in the Kathopanishad. Let's walk through these steps together. Step 1 is the bow. The text describes Om as a bow. And get this, our source fascinatingly notes that if you look at the written Sanskrit symbol of Om, it actually physically resembles a bow. Step 2 is the arrow, which represents our mind. And step 3 is the target, which is Brahman, the ultimate reality. The text basically explains that if your mind is beautifully controlled, like if you have a really good, sharp arrow, and you place it upon the bow of Om, you can actively hit that ultimate target. Om is the active, structural tool that launches human consciousness toward its highest possible goal. Which brings us to Section 3, the ultimate goal, referencing the teachings of the Tachatariya Upanishad. Let's bring all these abstract concepts together into one grand, liberating conclusion. Let's move to and see how this builds perfectly on everything we've discussed so far. The Taittiriya Upanishad explicitly declares that Om is the ultimate tool to attain Brahman and fulfill the very purpose of life. According to the text, it is a word that can literally save our lives, make them complete, and give them ultimate meaning. By understanding its deep structure, the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states culminating in that profound silence, and by utilizing it as a bow to focus our mind, Om transforms from a simple, everyday chant into an incredibly powerful map for total spiritual liberation. The source really emphasizes that the more we ponder, reflect upon, and chant this word, the more meaningful our entire existence becomes. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought. Next time you hear the sound of Om, are you going to hear just a syllable? Or are you going to hear the entire spectrum of human consciousness, from the busy waking world all the way to deep silence, from a drawn bow to the ultimate target? I really hope this explainer has opened your eyes to the profound anatomy of this ancient universal sound. Take this map, reflect on it for a while, and see where it takes your mind. Thanks for hanging out with us, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.